to bring in the biggest New Year's celebration of all time. It's Inside the NFL with your old acquaintances, Glenn Dawson, Chris Collinsworth, Nick Bonacotti, and Jerry Glanville.
Hello, everybody, and welcome to this very special road show. We're at Foley's Fish House Restaurant in the Renaissance Hotel overlooking Times Square in Midtown Manhattan.
And Lenny D, doesn't get any better than this. Look around. We've got a preview of the final week of the regular season, and we're going to pick our all-century team.
And we all know about the implications of who's going to be in the playoffs, but I think the big question is St. Louis head coach Dick Vermeil. They're playing Philadelphia in Philadelphia. They have nothing to prove. They have home field advantage throughout the playoffs. He says he's going to start and play his starters. You agree?
Well, I think he's going to treat it like the last preseason game. You start your starters, you throw a three-step drop, you throw a five-step drop, you throw one bomb and catch it, and then you get all your starters, and you get them out of that game in a hurry.
I want to take it one step further, though. If I'm taking my team and I'm playing in the worst stadium in the league, on the worst field in the league, against one of the best defenses, hit you, knock it into next week, I'll tell you what, I'm going to leave my starters at home or forfeit the game.
And they're also playing outdoors.
That's right.
St. Louis, home field advantage throughout the playoffs. They play indoors. And the Super Bowl this year is played indoors.
But I agree with Dick Vermeil. If you don't play your starters in this game, that means that you have to go 3 weeks before the most important game, which is your first playoff game. And the reason I think it's the most important game, because I think they'll face the Minnesota Vikings there, and that's the only team that can keep St. Louis from going to the Super Bowl.
Well, that theory is very good if none of his players get hurt.
Yeah, that's the point.
Hey, this is a week of fond memories. Let's start our highlights in Seattle with the last regular season game ever at the Kingdome.
Program, you gotta have a program. Number one, baby. Fired a period of time. Unbelievable today. I never saw so many programs.
The last regular season game in Kingdome history was also the Seahawks' final chance for redemption. Otherwise, the visiting Chiefs would claim the AFC West title for themselves.
All right, today's the day. Win the division, go home happy.
Everybody get out there. Everybody to the ball. Ball's out. Let's get a win. Win on three. 1, 2, 3, win.
First down and 10 at the Kansas City 20. Hawks are up by 3. Kitten to throw. Looking deep down to the 5. Touchdown, Seattle. Sean Dawkins caught the football. He ran and up and in and then went back out to the far sideline.
Good job, John.
We'll be all right. We're going to weather the storm. We've been here before. Weather the storm. We'll be fine.
But it just kept raining points inside the Kingdome.
Oh, looking right, goes to the end zone. Touchdown, Seattle! They ran a post pattern underneath the Derek Mays.
A 17-point Seahawks lead threatened to turn this showdown into a blowout.
We're getting all that stuff. We're not playing. We're being mechanical. Play the way we practice. Play the way you think. It's ours. Let's go. Let's go get it. Let's go get the championship. When I was on you on Seattle, can you run it? Can you get them? Can you take it?
Joe Horn's answer to all 3 questions was a resounding yes.
Long. Now he wants Joe Horn on the left side of the field. Caught over the shoulder. And Joe Horn's wide open. 30-20. Trying to outrace Joseph. 10-5. Touchdown. Kansas City. Touchdown. Joe Horn.
2 Elvis Gerback scoring passes quickly dampened the Kingdome's once festive atmosphere.
You got to keep playing hard. You got to keep playing hard. This is everything. It's everything.
A week after its most dismal performance of the year, it would be the defense that kept Seattle's playoff hopes alive.
Going to throw from the end zone. Goes deep down the sidelines. Intercepted. Sean Springs with a big pick.
Hey, got me some. Got me some. Here, got you some. I got me some. I'm going to give me some every play now.
Here's Gerback backpedaling to throw. Fires over the middle. Ball's intercepted. Picked off by Chris Manny at the 50 but knocked out of bounds. Gerback backpedaling to throw. Gets it! Gets knocked down! That might be the sack of the season, and who should get it but Mike Sinclair? It's over! Seattle is back in first place in the AFC West as we turn out the lights at the Kingdome. Hey, Kansas City, close the door when you leave.
The Seahawks can close that door for good and win the division for the first time in more than a decade with a victory in New York this Sunday. On Monday night, Dan Marino and the Dolphins were bidding for a playoff berth and hoping for some payback against the Jets team that had beaten them just 2 weeks before. But New York looked very much like the spoiler.
Throw it on the run. Back of the end zone. Touchdown. Touchdown. Keyshawn Johnson. He takes the snap. Looks to the left. Throws to the left. And it's intercepted by Marcus Coleman. Marino to beat. He beats him down the right sideline. Marcus Coleman going coast to coast. Looking at the Dolphins in his rear view mirror. Touchdown. New York Jets. A 98-yard interception return for a touchdown.
The interception was the 7th return for a score against Miami this season, but the Dolphins seemed to recover. Dan Marino threw 3 touchdowns on the night, including a flea flicker to Tony Martin that gave the Dolphins a 21-17 lead. But then Jets quarterback Ray Lucas showed the magic touch.
Looks to the left, throws it out to the left, wide open. Wayne Corbett to the 20, to the 10, to the 5. Touchdown.
Nope.
It has to be. He hit the pylon.
Yes.
That is a touchdown. Touchdown, Wayne Corbett.
Less than 2 minutes later, another bomb put the game out of reach.
Play action by Lucas. Steps up to throw. Down the middle. He's got Dedrick Ward. Makes the catch at the 20, to the 10. Touchdown. Touchdown. New York Jets. 56 yards.
Despite beating Miami twice, the Jets could be the ones to send the Dolphins to the playoffs if they win against Seattle this Sunday.
It's for the money right here. It's for the playoffs, for the division, for everything. Hey, it's time to get it on. Just gotta walk through the door, baby. Just walk through the door.
A 65-yard pass to Michael Westbrook cracked open the door in the second quarter.
Deep middle. He's got a receiver. Westbrook has the catch. Defender falls down into the end zone. Touchdown, Redskins.
Even though San Francisco has struggled all season, Steve Mariucci's squad was able to take a 20-10 lead in the third quarter.
Pump fakes, throws into the end zone. Pump goes, touchdown, 49ers.
With the score tied at 20, the 49ers floundered an opportunity for victory. Rookie Terry Jackson's fumble with less than 2 minutes to play helped send the game into overtime. Quarterback Brad Johnson's juggernaut performance featured 471 yards and 2 touchdowns, including the game winner.
Touchdown, Washington Redskins. Redskins win 26-20 and clinch the NFC East.
Do you believe in miracles? This seemed like a miracle.
No miracle, just Washington's first NFC East Division title since 1991.
We won the division. Yeah. All right? But this ball belongs to only one person. This ball, the game ball, belongs to Norv Turner. All right.
No one knows how much this means. Nobody. Nobody. And I know there's a bunch of guys who've been here with me for a while. And I said it at halftime. The second half of that game will define this football team. Well, you defined it, man. You defined it. Hey, we can do whatever we want to do. If we're set our mind. Hell of a job, man. Hell of a job.
Will Roger Staubach be HBO's pick for All-Century quarterback? Stay tuned.
Boy, one thing for sure, New York hasn't been kind to the Miami Dolphins. The Jets have 2 wins over Miami in the last 3 weeks. But one of the guys who plays for the Dolphins is an All-Pro, has had a terrific year. Sam Madison. Sam, congratulations on your Pro Bowl selection.
Thank you. I did some great things this year. Came out with a couple of interceptions here and there. Got some turnovers for our defense. Put our offense in a position to score some points. And the guys around the league have finally, saw that I did some great things over the last couple of years, and they selected me. So I appreciate that for my peers.
Your defense has really relied on the play of Bowens and Gardner, of course, Zach Thomas in the middle. But as I look at them, and I think they're terrific players, I see them not making the plays they ever used to seeing.
Like you said, they haven't been making the plays, but, we're going to adjust this week. We're going to do some different things here and there and get that taken care of.
The whole country saw your game against the Jets Monday night. Danny Marino either looked like an All-Pro or a guy who should not be playing. Do you think that Danny will make this his last year?
I don't know. I shy away from that question. I'm not the person to make that decision. Dan is, but, you know, we feel that, you know, he can get the job done.
Yeah, Sam, is he 100% healthy?
You guys have to take that up with him. I really don't know how he feels, but I know once he gets on the football field, he's a competitor.
I saw Jimmy Johnson on the sideline, and boy, there's an awful lot of tension in his face. How was Jimmy's spirits after that loss to the Jets?
There was some frustration there, like you said, and there was some frustration amongst ourselves. So, you know, we just have to come back on Wednesday, get everything prepared, and just come back upbeat, and don't let this loss get us down, because we're still, like you said, we're still in contention for a playoff berth.
Sam, do you care if the Dolphins back into the playoffs?
Man, like I said, we can back in the playoffs, we can crawl, we can slither in, as long as we make it there. And hopefully, you know, something will change and we can get everybody clicking on all cylinders, and anything can happen. You know, we can go like the last team into the playoffs, and then hopefully you make it to the championship.
Well, good luck on Sunday, Sam.
Thank you. Thanks for having me.
All right, now let's go from Sam Madison in Miami to our own Gary Myers in Miami, who's standing by with one of the big stories this year, that being the relationship between Jimmy Johnson and Dan Marino. And Gary, it had to be strained after what happened on Monday night.
Chris, I really believe that relationship has been strained all season. I think there's a very good chance that neither Johnson nor Marino returns next year. I think Jimmy's chances of returning next year increase dramatically if Dan Marino retires. I believe that the burden of dealing with an aging superstar at the end of his career has really worn on Jimmy. They also have to remember that in January, Jimmy actually quit for about 24 hours, packed up his office, was ready to leave this team until he was talked back into it. I would not be surprised one bit if this time Jimmy retires for good.
So you're saying that if Dan Marino makes the decision to come back, that may well lead to Jimmy Johnson's retirement?
Yeah, I really believe that could be the situation. But if Dan doesn't decide to retire, but Jimmy does want to come back, I think there's a good chance that Jimmy tries to ease him out. Now, if that's the case and Marino still wants to play, I think there's a slight possibility that he might try to finish his career with another team. But we know that did not work for Johnny Unitas or for Joe Namath.
But regardless, Dan Marino gets a start this week against the Washington Redskins.
This game will be meaningless for the Dolphins as far as the playoffs are concerned, but Johnson did say that Dan Marino will start.
All right, Gary, well, thanks, and we'll see you just a little bit later in the show.
Okay, Chris.
You know, Chris, what interested me, did you see Wayne Huizenga wearing the headset, listening to the plays being sent in? Wayne Huizenga wearing that headset is much like Jimmy Johnson studying Auto Nation's balance sheet. Neither one really know what's going on.
Maybe he was calling the plays. Could be, yeah. Well, the Washington Redskins NFC East champs now for the first time since 1991. But, Nick, it's entirely possible by the time they kick this ball off for the ball game, won't mean anything to either one of these.
No, it doesn't, except Jimmy Johnson needs a win. This team needs to go into the playoffs. If they do back in, playing with confidence, I think they win this game.
You know, the Washington Redskins, Albert Connell needs a rest, Stephen Davis needs a rest, and Jerry, I think that Brad Johnson does as well. I watched him the other night. His ball just didn't have quite the zip, despite the fact that he set a new team record for passing yards. Give him a week off, really improves your chances in the playoffs. I like Miami here.
Talk about needing a rest. I think Marino needs a rest. He never stepped forward to make a throw, throwing off his back foot. And that's because Gogan and Dixon, the two offensive guards, this week has Stubblefield and Wilkinson. They'll get that big push, and I think Washington wins it because Marino can't step up.
All right, let's talk about the other big game that impacts the Miami Dolphins directly, and that's Seattle traveling to New York to take on the Jets. Seattle tries to make the playoffs for the first time in 11 years.
Yeah, Bill Parcells has the Jets believing. Ray Lucas thinks he should be in Hawaii at the Pro Bowl. Corbett's healthy. I like New York.
You know, Seattle's run defense, they looked pretty good against Kansas City, but Kansas City got so far behind early, they really didn't get a chance to establish a run. The Jets with Curtis Martin will. I like New York here.
You like New York?
I do.
I like Kitna when there's no pressure. Last week, no pressure on him. He proves he can win the football game. And you look at the Jets' defense, the worst there is in the pass rush. I'm going with Seattle.
Seattle and a couple of New York Jets right here. Well, Seattle got the job done last week against the Chiefs in a divisional showdown, something Jacksonville could not say against Tennessee.
They coming to our house. We're going to show them what the Titans are all about, baby. We for real, the real deal, baby. You talk about putting the nail in the coffin, today is the day. Today is not about winning this ball game. Today is about kicking their ass. Let's go old school. Kick ass on three. Let's go kick ass on three. 1, 2, 3. Yeah, they keep kicking ass, baby.
The Derriers being demolished belong to the once beaten Jacksonville Jaguars. Titan quarterback Steve McNair threw a career-high 5 touchdowns, including one where his ability to buy time and scan the field allowed a tight end who was pass blocking to sneak into the secondary unnoticed for a 62-yard score.
He's going to turn it down the field and look to throw. Fires back across the middle. There's Harris. 50. There's 40, nobody near him. 30, 20, 10, 5, end zone. Touchdown. The thing you're going to do is say, hey, I'm going to go get the ball. You can't be satisfied with 1. You should be in this game by 3 or 4 because they're going to challenge me.
Mark Brunell always poses a threat. But on this day, the Jacksonville left-hander completed just 4 passes and led only 1 Jaguar scoring drive before leaving the game with a sprained knee.
And Brunell moves his team 90 yards to get on the board. Brunell is hurt.
His absence was duly noted.
If you got a tight split right here, play it looser. But if you got a big one, I'm going to give you a spike.
Hey, I'm going to give you a spike. Brunell's not returning, but this guy threw the ball earlier here. We got to put him down. Let's go, send the message, baby! Let's go!
McNair, long count, play action, rolls to his right. Steps up, throws deep downfield. There's Burns. The ball's there. 25, 20, gets away. 15, 10, 5, end zone. Touchdown! This is our house. So nobody coming to our house and push us around.
What makes Titan territory so intimidating? 8 teams tried their luck there this season. All 8 went home defeated. A bad omen for any AFC playoff team that hopes to further its Super Bowl ambitions in Tennessee.
Hey, it's really pretty easy. It's all about preparation, belief, and expectation. You prepare like you do, and you believe you can win. You go out expect to win, you can play with anybody. But what you did today, you just got some people's attention, and you finally deserved it. Now, we're not finished. We're not finished. Let's go home, and if we can do anything, let's help Cincinnati with their game plan next week. Come on, take care of business. Nice job, guys. Let's go.
The Bengals arrived in Baltimore having scored a decade-high 44 points in each of their previous 2 games. But last Sunday, Cincinnati couldn't cross the goal line even once. The Ravens notched a season-high 7 sacks and recorded their first shutout in franchise history. Along with 5 field goals, Baltimore scored the only touchdown of the day.
The throw loops it out to West. Got it on the 5, turns it up. Touchdown!
Despite a 4th straight victory, the Ravens will still hang up their cleats after this week since they were eliminated from postseason play. Their final game is in New England, where Pete Carroll's team will also be watching the playoffs on television. Against Buffalo, the Patriots were just looking to hold on to a winning season.
To the right, and he gets a couple of yards to the 43, maybe the 44. The signaling fumble, let's see. Coming out of there was Chad Eaton. He's running with the football at the 30, 25, 20. He's down to the 15, 14-yard line. He'll no longer whistle blue at all. First down, Patriots. Heads-up play by Chad Eaton.
Chad Eaton's 30-yard fumble return set up Terry Allen for a 14-yard fourth-quarter score.
Hand off to Allen up the middle. He shoots it inside the 5, and he did. Touchdown! Boy, that's blowing it in there. I'll say.
Allen's touchdown gave New England a 10-3 lead, but Buffalo responded, tying the game on Jonathan Linton's 1-yard scoring run. The game went into overtime, where Adam Vinatieri's 44-yard field goal try fell short. With less than 2 minutes left, Bills kicker Steve Christie finally ended the game. The Bills came away with a victory and are in the playoffs, while the Patriots lost their chance at a winning record, and speculation has them losing their coach. The odds of Jim Mora's team winning its 11th straight last Sunday probably look pretty good, especially as Peyton Manning connected with Marvin Harrison 14 times for 138 yards.
Manning sets up, he fires it deep, intended for Marvin, he's got it at the 5.
Harrison's catch set up a 1-yard score, but then the Browns seemed to gain the upper hand. Quarterback Ty Detmer found rookie Darren Chiaverini for a 28-yard touchdown, and Cleveland built a 28-19 lead.
He's at the 31, he's going to throw for Chiaverini, he's got it, touchdown!
Detmer also notched Cleveland's longest scoring run this season.
Steps up, rolls out to the left, he's got running room to the 10, to the 5, touchdown!
Indianapolis fought back in the fourth quarter as Edgerrin James ran in his 3rd touchdown of the game to bring the Colts within 2. With just seconds left, Indianapolis claimed its 6th come-from-behind win of the season. The Colts made NFL history by winning 10 more games this year than they did in 1998 and remain in contention for home field advantage throughout the playoffs as they meet the Bills this week.
You know what, guys? We have finally hit the big time. Our own sandwiches at the Stage Deli. We're here. Check this out. It's going to be a great year. How you doing, fellas? I got some specials today. First one up is the Bonacani.
Oh, that's got to be a big seller here.
Lots of garlic in that one, man.
The next one up is the Lenny D.
Tastes good, no good.
And our most popular seller of the house, the Glenville Grit Split.
Oh, with peanut butter and banana.
Wait. Where's my sandwich on the thing?
You don't have a sandwich because this is on the bottom.
Coming up on HBO's Inside the NFL.
We look back 25 years to one of the NFL's greatest games with the most improbable ending. And Len, Nick, Chris, and Jerry make their selections for HBO's All-Century Team.
As Inside the NFL's Roadshow continues from Times Square, home of the world's largest Millennium celebration. All right.
It's great to know that the mayor watches our show. You know, while HBO's All-Century Team will not include the Bills' Thurman Thomas, there have only been a handful of backs with better career numbers. Thurman was the league's MVP in 1991, and his fresh legs in 1999 give the Bills yet another chance for a ring. Armand Katayan has the story.
On the run or in the air, the hallmark of one of the NFL's all-time, all-everything running backs has been based upon a very simple premise.
Yeah, I guess it's just a desire to go out and win, lay it on the line. I think the day when I do retire, I think people in the organization and people that are Buffalo Bills fans will always say, you know, Thurman Thomas, he went out and played his heart out.
But on the first play of the first game in this his 12th season, Thurman Thomas found himself on the edge of early retirement with a lacerated liver. For 3 frustrating months, he stood on the sidelines, healing and hoping.
I had internal bleeding. Blood was in my urine. The doctor said if you have to have surgery, pretty much your career is going to be over. If I was going to retire, this is not the way I want to end my career.
As it turns out, Thomas, 7th all-time in yards from scrimmage, didn't know if he would ever play again until mid-December when a team doctor gave this Bill a clean bill of health.
He says, you're able to practice and you're able to play. And I'm like, oh my God. For me to come back and really be a part of this football team is something special to me.
And special to this team as well, for in his first game back, Thomas took this pass for a touchdown. A week later against Arizona, he gave his teammates an X-rated lesson in leadership.
Well, I can't actually say what I said on television, but...
well, this is HBO, so you...
Yeah, I know. I can say pretty much anything I want to say on HBO.
You want to know what he said?
Yeah, I do.
Bleed, bleed, so-and-so, bleed, bleed.
For me to be back in that locker room, I just kind of like snapped a little bit. You know, I looked at Wade and said, all right, Wade, it's your turn.
He's a great leader. He's the captain of the team, has been for a long time, and players follow what he says and what he does.
The last 3 weeks, what the 33-year-old running back has done is relive a legacy, dodging and weaving his way from role-playing to once again a starring role for Buffalo.
In fact, the return of a fresh number 34 to the Bills lineup couldn't come at a more perfect time. For the wind, the cold, the snow, and especially the heat of the playoff wars have long brought out the best in Thurman Thomas.
For those scoring at home outside of quarterback, Thomas owns NFL records for total yards and most points in playoff history.
I tell you, it's just such a treat to have him back. He has springs in his legs right now. He's fresh, and it's showing.
Wade has been kidding me a lot about, hey, we know you got fresh legs. You haven't played in a long time, so we're gonna ride you until you drop.
For 16 games, you can't do it, certainly, at this point in his career. But I think for a playoff run, we're going to try to utilize him all we can.
That's fine with me. I don't care. That's the way I want to go out. I'm looking at these last couple of games and going into the playoffs. Hey, this might be my last opportunity. I want to ride this horse as long as I possibly can.
Ride it right past 4 heartbreaking Super Bowl Sundays. Right back to the day where this team went as far as this all-time, all-everything running back could carry them.
Will Jim Brown be HBO's pick for all-century running back? Stay tuned.
Is he great or what? Playing for that long at that high level, something special. All right, special game in Buffalo. They'll be entertaining Indianapolis. The Bills clinched a berth when Miami lost on Monday night. The Colts have a chance to get home field advantage throughout the playoffs.
You said special. What is special is the offensive left tackle for the Colts, Terry Glenn. But this week he's going against Bruce Smith. I watched the film on him last week. 2 sacks, more effort than I've ever seen. They win it on defense because of Bruce Smith.
No, Indianapolis wins on defense because of Cornelius Bennett. He knows that you cannot give Doug Flutie the passing lanes. They did in the first game. The Colts win this.
All right, here's another game to talk about. Cincinnati at Jacksonville. Cincinnati without Corey Dillon. Jay Fiedler leads the Jaguars. Mark Brunell's out with a knee injury.
I think Mark Brunell being out isn't that big a deal. Remember Rob Johnson?
Yes.
He came in and played, made himself $1 million. Matthews came in and won games for him. And I think Fiedler on the roof will lead the charge. And he'll win for Jacksonville.
And he'll get $1 million. Hey, did you know that Bruce Coslett has been told he'll be back for the final year?
I promise you, I didn't know that.
But last week, Jacksonville got a real wake-up call when they got their butts whipped by Tennessee. That's not going to happen this week. Jacksonville wins.
Hey, Jacksonville secondary can get a wake-up call from Darnay Scott and Carl Pickens. They go against Fernando Bryant and Aaron Beasley. But I think this right here, Tony Brackens puts teeth on Jeff Blake, and Jacksonville wins.
Jacksonville. Jacksonville. You know, the Bengals are in the role of a spoiler. Last week, the San Diego Chargers played that role to perfection.
The Chargers' season has been like John Carney's scalp. Not offensive, but definitely missing something. But last Sunday against Oakland, Jim Harbaugh and company made things very hairy for the Raiders. Harbaugh threw for 325 yards and a pair of touchdowns.
And a slant to Graham. Touchdown!
After squandering a fourth-quarter lead, Oakland had a late chance to tie it.
Yards away, 34 the spot. Good snap. Leo has it down. Nedney has it away, and it is no good. No good.
By knocking out the Raiders, the Chargers improved to 7-8 and will battle for 500 this week in Denver against Mike Shanahan and the Broncos, who spend Christmas Day in Detroit. And while not bearing presents, Olandis Gary gave the Lions fits. Gary ran for 185 yards and with over 1,100 for the season has rushed for more in his rookie year than Terrell Davis did in his.
3 and on the move. Inside the 20, stops, cuts back inside the 15, 10, 5, walks in the end zone, touchdown Denver.
Consider the Lions playoff sleepers, clinching a postseason berth despite a 3-game losing slumber. 1 year removed from a 4-12 debacle, George Seifert and the Carolina Panthers were primed for a playoff run. But just as it seemed Three Rivers Stadium had frozen over, the Panthers showed their cold feet. Fred Lane's goal line fumble set off a 102-yard adventure for number 27, Travis Davis.
And oh boy, what is that, 100 and what?
It's going to be 100 plus. He was in the end zone when he caught that air fumble.
And I do believe it was Travis Davis who hit the ball carrier, knocking that ball up into the air. And then he takes off and to lead the way for the run. No, Travis Davis is making a run. Get your noodles straight, Coach.
Well, he's blocking and making the run.
Okay, maybe Davis didn't hit or block, but his run set the Steelers' all-time record for longest fumble return for a touchdown, and is second only to Jack Tatum's 104-yard return in 1972 for the all-time league mark. The touchdown was the first by a Steeler defender this season and the first of Davis's career. The fifth-year safety helped give the Steelers an early 10-0 lead. But Carolina would soon recover as Pro Bowl-bound Steve Berline became only the 10th passer to throw for over 4,000 yards and 30 touchdowns in a season.
Field once again now throws towards the right corner of the end zone. Jump off.
Jeffers got it! Jeffers has it!
Berline and Jeffers also combined for an 88-yard scoring strike as Carolina rolled up 288 first-half yards. In Pittsburgh, they call it Steelers weather, and in the second half, it shrouded the playing field, putting a frigid crimp in Carolina's playoff chances.
We got a whiteout at Three Rivers.
Yeah, the snow is blowing all of a sudden like crazy.
But as the running track grew slippery and passing lanes closed down, Steelers fans took heart because the bus was still running.
The turn by Tomczak. They get to the bus and he drives for the goal line. Touchdown, Steelers!
Bettis' run iced the Steelers' victory and all but finished Carolina's playoff hopes this season. Jake Delhomme, in the year of the unknown passer, the latest is a second-year pro from southwestern Louisiana, who got his first NFL start last Friday and made the most of it.
Play action. Delhomme's going to throw it deep down the near sideline for Kennison. Kennison has it! Inside the 10, inside the 5, touchdown, New Orleans!
But Dallas has a guy named Troy Aikman who helped pace the Cowboys to a fourth-quarter lead. However, in front of a hometown audience, Delhomme showed the moxie of a grizzled veteran.
We're a kick away from a tie, and nobody wants a tie for Christmas.
Ultimately, it was the Saints' defense that provided the game-winning touchdown.
Emmitt Smith wrapped up and the ball comes free. Picked up by Weary. There goes Fred Weary. Only Aikman to beat. Weary's going to go down the far sideline. Touchdown, New Orleans!
All doomsday hoopla aside, when Jake Delhomme can step off the practice roster and outduel Troy Aikman, the apocalypse may well be upon us.
Only thing I'm going to say, everybody, you got to play with emotion. You got to play with emotion, man. This is do or die. Let's get the do part of this right. All right, let's go. Line on 3. 1, 2, 3. How fun it is to ride and sing a sleighing song tonight. Let's go, let's go.
One day after Christmas, Pro Bowl defensive end Michael Strahan and the Giants look to extend some holiday cheer to the visiting Vikings.
That's what that old bullshit hit you just put on me.
Oh, come on, man. All right.
Hey, y'all over here dumbing this shit out of me. You're going to hit me on the side of my head. Come on, boy. Be careful with it. But he's dropping that hand when he's about to get that ball now. Okay? Come off that rock. He's really going to drop his bottom hand. You're going to see it.
Watching the hands of Viking quarterback Jeff George before the snap gave Strahan an extra jump.
Damn, Leroy, I had your ass. Damn, I had you. Run, run. Right here, CP, coming right at him.
Strahan was relentless in his pursuit of the quarterback.
I'm coming, big boy. I'm right there. Right there. We're going to get a little tight on the covers. I've been too close not to get her. I'm going to get it.
George in a long
count. Takes the snap and drops back. Under pressure. Hit by Strahan to the end zone. Intercepted by Jeremy Lincoln.
It began with big pressure on George, who threw under a rush. Strahan was bearing down on him.
Hey, I told you I was coming. I told you. Yeah, baby, that's the way to...
After keeping the game close, the Giants' defense couldn't contain the Vikings in the second half.
Reverse. Moss coming to the right side. He'll pass it. Backs and throws. Down to Carter. Touchdown! Great catch by Carter.
Hey, we got to play better. We got to play better than this booth. Let's go, Sam.
The Giants needed to play better in every phase of the game.
And back at the 15, bobble picked up by the Vikings. Here's Mo Williams at the 30, at the 35, at the 40, 45, 50 down the sideline. 40, 30, 20, the 15, the 10 to the 5. Touchdown, Vikings.
You got to be kidding me. You got to be kidding me. What we got to do, we got to make something happen. We can't let them score no more points, man. We got to make something happen on defense.
Minnesota, however, simply had too many weapons, and Robert Smith's fourth-quarter run helped seal the win and a playoff berth for the Vikings.
50, 45, 40, 35, checks up. Still going. Down the sideline. I don't think for the touchdown. I thought he got pushed out.
Come on, with class. Come on. Hey, with class. Come on, boy. Baby. I'm having fun. All right. Where did that come from? Down in New York City. Where's Jimmy Hoffa?
We're just really starting to pick up steam, man. I think it was our best way all the way around.
Yes.
Coaching, taping, training, playing, you name it. I think we're coming together at the exact same and at the right time with everybody working together.
Yes.
Will Dick Butkus be HBO's pick for all-century linebacker? It's coming up.
The Minnesota Vikings clinched a playoff berth with their victory over the Giants, but there's still much to accomplish. A win over the Lions gives them a shot at the division title and a bye in the first round. So joining us is one of the best and most colorful defensive linemen in the game today, six-time Pro Bowler, John Randle. John, first of all, thanks for taking a little time to be with us.
Hey, my pleasure to be here.
Well, you moved back from defensive end to defensive tackle over the past couple of weeks, and my question after watching you on Sunday, why in the world do they ever play you at defensive end?
Well, I guess it was, for me, it was a change-up, too. Most teams were, like we played Green Bay the first game, they kept sliding to me, kept trying to come after me. So moving the end kind of gave me a change-up and really gave me a chance to get outside and also to be healthy in the month of December. Because if you can, when you're playing inside during the whole season, it's a struggle to stay healthy. And but for the most part, I was able to stay healthy. And coming back inside in the month of December gave me a new look, gave teams a different look at me, and it's overall just gave our team just a change of pace inside.
Well, everybody in Detroit is debating which quarterback should be playing in the game, Gus Frerotte or Charlie Batch. Your preference, who would you prefer to chase?
I would rather have Gus than, Gus is a guy to me, I've sacked him before once, and, to me, it's that old saying, the white quarterback's are slower than the black quarterback.
Just tell the truth, John. I like it. John, sitting next to Jerry Glanville every week, I do a lot of talking to myself. You do a lot of talking to yourself on the football field. Clue us in. What are you saying out there?
Who knows what I'm saying? Once I hit that field, I go in a different mentality. I'm out there trying to figure out what I can do to help my team win. And sometimes you got to talk to yourself to figure things out. You may try to tell some guy on your team, I think I should do this, I think I should do that. And a lot of times your teammates are too busy worrying about their own things. And so I said that my best friend on the football field is myself. And I always, rely on myself to tell myself what to do and just to push myself.
Well, we're sitting here on Times Square, and we're all wondering, what's your New Year's resolution this year?
My New Year's resolution is to send all you guys some different coins so you can guys quit making those lousy picks.
That's just Nick. That's Nick and Jerry, because Nick is on the bottom right now. Hey, John, thanks a lot for taking some time to be with us, and best of luck this week.
Thank you.
This week, John Randle and the Minnesota Vikings host the Detroit Lions. And I'll tell you what, Nick, last week you talked me into picking against the Minnesota Vikings. Yes, you did. I'm not making that mistake again. 5 quarterback sacks against the Giants. When this defense wakes up, very complete team in Minnesota. I like the Vikings.
Can you believe Bobby Ross did not put Gus Frott in the second half against Denver? I think that offense in total disarray. Herman Moore now starting for Jermaine Crowell. I like Minnesota.
Well, if you're going to beat the Minnesota Vikings, you have to run the football. And you look at the Detroit Lions. They're terrible running the football. They're at the bottom of the league. Now they got 3 losses in a row. Before. Would you go in the playoffs if you had 4 losses in a row?
I go in anyway.
Somebody from the NFC has to go, and I think it's going to be decided based on what happens in the New York Giants-Dallas Cowboys game. If the Cowboys win, they're in the playoffs. If the Giants win, they need Green Bay to lose for the Giants to make the playoffs.
If Dallas wants to win now,
yeah.
Deion Sanders has to play better than he has last week. 2 touchdown passes over here. Wake up, Deion. You will. I like Dallas.
Kerry Collins 3-0 lifetime against the Dallas Cowboys. Yeah. But when Jesse Armstead is not healthy, and he is not, this Giants defense is not the same. I like Dallas.
The Giants offense, I don't know if the quarterback even matters. For them to win, they have to run the football. Now you look at their running back, Montgomery. He hurt his ribs. He's got to wear rib protection. The Giants get beat again.
It's a good thing the Giants quarterback doesn't make any difference because they're not getting any play from that position. Well, so the NFC is going to have an 8-8 team no matter what Jerry Glanville says. But does it even matter with the way that St. Louis is playing right now?
Kurt Warner and the Rams have been thoroughly dominating their opponents lately. But last Sunday, the Bears proved they still have a little bite. One good lick isn't enough against the Rams, however. Marshall Faulk gave the Bears a taste of what has been an MVP caliber year, becoming only the 3rd running back ever to gain over 200 yards receiving in a single game and scoring a touchdown. St. Louis's defense helped put the game away.
Matthews dumps it off, and it's intercepted by Grant Wistrom to the near sideline. 30, 25, 20, 15, 10, 5. They won't catch him today. Touchdown, Rams!
The Rams dominated in the regular season, but if they want to belong with the big boys, they must do it come playoff time. Last Sunday, the Buccaneers and Packers engaged in a contest with all the intensity of a postseason matchup.
Come on, baby. Great players make great plays.
All the great plays were made by the Tampa Bay defense in the early going.
Trying to get a rhythm now. You're trying to find a way to get some first down. Man, you're squeezing the good block. So I'm telling you, it's awesome right now. There's no run like that. We're in good shape.
There were no passing lanes for Brett Favre either. After giving up 45 points the previous week, the Buccaneer defense swarmed all over the field, allowing only 1 touchdown.
Get your 6, baby. Get your 6 of them. Get your 6 of them.
Back to throw Favre. He pops it over the left side. He's got Levens at the 15. He's to the 10. Hurdles the defender to the 5. Tight step, end zone. Touchdown!
Good job. Good job. Good job, baby.
The Packers' 10-9 lead did not last long.
Sean King dropping to throw. Looking. Comes it. It's caught by down to the 5.
Down to the 3, 2, 1. Touchdown, Tampa Bay.
Mike Alstott helped Tampa Bay to a 22-10 lead.
Handoff to Alstott to the 5.
3, 2, 1. Touchdown, Tampa Bay.
Way to go, A-Train. Hey, just a minute, baby. Let's go again. We're going to get it right back for you. The NFC Central Division on you guys if we get the ball and stuff it down their throats, right? Let's go.
Alstott exploited huge holes and showed surprisingly nimble feet.
Alstott running left. Alstott to the 10. Alstott to the 5. 3, 2, 1. Touchdown, Tampa Bay. Yeah. Get off my train track. It's Alstott up the gut. We score another one. I'm going to guard that big to the do-si-do. Got in the playoffs. Okay. We've won as many games as any Buccaneer team in history. But we got some unfinished business. We got to win one more, win a division championship, and get a first-round bye. That's what it's all about, okay?
The Cardinals have been playing a bit soft all year, but this is the time for contenders to get mean. But it was the Falcons playing the bully last Sunday.
Play action, Chandler setting up, now firing. He has a man out there. Touchdown, Falcons. Cardinals are showing blitz right now. Here they come. The give is to Bob Christian up the middle. Bob Christian, touchdown! Right up the middle. 33-yard touchdown run.
Arizona will have plenty of time to think about what went wrong this year as they were eliminated from playoff contention.
Will Vince Lombardi be HBO's pick for all-century coach? Our selections are moments away.
Here's the part of the program that Mayor Koch was so interested in, how we all fared.
I'm not interested in it.
Hey, look, Chris was on top. Nick is there. How about for the season, folks? That's the important thing. What?
Oh, Nick is on the bottom.
Yeah. Hey, earlier in the show, we picked several games. Now it's time to pick the rest. Arizona will need a big game from Mario Bates, but we like the Packers in cold Lambeau Field. Jerry and Nick think the Ravens will win their 5th straight game to end the season, but Chris and I like the Pats. This could be Mike Ditka's final game as head coach, but it won't be a Happy New Year against the Panthers. The Raiders never win in Kansas City. The Chiefs need a win to make the playoffs. We all like Kansas City. The Rams' Kurt Warner is having an historic season. St. Louis will defeat Philadelphia. The Broncos can't wait till next season when they can employ a bulldog backfield of Terrell Davis and Olandis Gary. They will defeat the Chargers. Jerry likes the 49ers, but Nick, Chris, and I like the Falcons to win. Now, there are just 2 more games to pick in this century. Tampa Bay at Chicago. The Bucs need a win to clinch their division title for the first time in 18 years. They will get it because they have a running game, and that running game is Mike Allstott.
Nick Nowell at quarterback, Matthews at quarterback. Doesn't matter who it is. They cannot throw the football against the Buccaneers. No running game occurred in it. I like the Bucs.
Well, there's no running game for the Bears. That means John Lynch, he'll stay back in the secondary. Double coverage. They win because of the secondary. Tampa Bay.
The Buccaneers never win in cold weather. I like Chicago in an upset.
Tennessee at Pittsburgh. Titans need a win and a Jacksonville loss to win the division and get a bye. Now, the Steelers rushed for 211 yards last week. Jerome Bettis finally looked like the bus. He won't look like the bus this week because it's not snowing. I like Tennessee.
I said Steve McNair was the running back, so all you do is throw 5 touchdown passes. Tennessee wins.
Well, Tennessee's got Eddie George, but he'll be following the best blocking fullback in the league.
Lorenzo
Neal. Tennessee wins.
If Tennessee's defense can stop Fred Taylor, they can stop Jerome Bettis as well. I like Tennessee, too.
Let's go back to Miami, Florida, and bring back Gary Myers. Gary, here at Times Square for New Year's Eve, they're concerned about terrorism. The National Football League is not concerned about that. They're more concerned with computers. What have they done to get ready for the new millennium?
Lenny, actually, the league has been preparing for this weekend since March of 1998. When 99 schedule came out in the spring, they informed all of the road teams they would have to travel to the away sites on Friday the 31st instead of Saturday the 1st. Usually teams do travel the day before the game, but they want to avoid any Y2K-related travel problems. In addition, there's a list of 70 game-related functions that the league has been checking on. They will have a full staff in the league office over the weekend, including Commissioner Paul Tagliabue.
Tell me about head coaches Pete Carroll and Mike Ditka. Will they be back?
Pete Carroll has a meeting scheduled for next week with Patriots owner Robert Kraft. After a 6-2 first half of the season, the Patriots have only won 1 game. The second half of the season, at this point, it will be a big surprise if Pete Carroll is not fired. In 1994, Pete Carroll was fired after just 1 year as a Jets coach, and he was shocked. If he gets fired next week, I don't think this will come as a surprise to anybody. As far as Mike Ditka is concerned, if the decision was up to Saints president and general manager Bill Kuharich, Mike Ditka would be back next year. But this decision belongs to Saints owner Tom Benson, and he has not indicated which way he's going on it.
Gary, thank you very much. Happy New Year to you and your family. We'll talk to you again next week.
Thank you, Lenny. You too.
In a week of memorable anniversaries, Kurt Galley remembers one of the best NFL games ever played. The Miami Dolphins and the Oakland Raiders matched up in the playoffs 25 years ago, and the game was decided by a sea of hands.
It's known today as the Sea of Hands catch, the dramatic conclusion to one of the greatest games I ever broadcast.
Here he is, fading, looking. He's under the gun. He's tied, he throws. It is.
Clarence Davis's catch in the 1974 playoffs ended the Miami Dolphins' 2-year reign as Super Bowl champions.
We are pumped up. I mean, Miami was, you know, the best team in football and all this thing, and everyone has a black hanky, and everyone's waving, and everyone's standing there. And we kicked the doggone ball off and, you know, a touchdown. And they score before the people even sit down. I mean, the people are still standing up from the national anthem.
And that kind of shut us up, silenced everybody, and we had to fight back, and we finally fought back and thought we had control of the game. And they had a drive in the fourth quarter. Benny Malone ran a sweep, and everyone thought the game was over.
And when I saw Benny go around the end, I said, Benny, no, Benny, come back. We've got to take some more time off the clock. And I'm thinking, we may have scored too soon.
They got the ball, and we had them, I think, in a 3rd down and 18 situation, and Stabler hit Biletnikoff on a curl and picked up the first down. And then they got it down there with no timeouts left, and they had to score the touchdown.
The play we come up with is 91 short corner, 10 corner. But as I tried to make the play, was hit by Vern Denherter, and the ball kind of goes out there end over end, dime duck type of pass. It probably should have been intercepted.
I thought I was going to grab it or else knock it down, but Clarence Davis got his big hands on the ball and had the leverage and obviously pulled it down.
And as I came through all those people, I was looking to really try to hit him and dislodge the ball. I mean, this guy couldn't catch a cold. That's probably the only pass he caught in his career.
Before I closed my eyes, Stable was running around out there with the ball. And then I closed my eyes, and I stood up, and I asked the Lord to give us a miracle.
When you drew up that play, the last receiver that you would throw it to would have been Clarence Davis. You're up and down, and pretty soon, you know, guys are carrying you off the field, and you have no idea what the hell you just did.
Today, Clarence Davis rehabilitates from a stroke he suffered in 1995, showing the same dogged tenacity that allowed him to snatch this football from a sea of hands.
That's how much I want it. Now, it's sitting behind me. Now, more or less, when I caught the ball, you know, they give me the ball. Now, it's my ball now, right? That's why it's sitting behind me.
It's a prize well earned.
Here he is, fading, looking. He's under the gun. Side, he throws.
God be answered prayers. And that was a miracle.
That ball that's been falling at midnight indicating a new year, that's been going on since 1907.
I wish Clarence Davis would have dropped that ball in that sea of hands game. I'll tell you.
He's mad. He can't forget anything. Well, I want you to remember, though, because right now it's time for HBO's All-Century Team. Let's start with the offense first. In the quarterback position, I am going to pick Otto Graham, 10 championships in a row.
Yeah, Joe Namath is my pick because he's the only guy I know. If the other 10 offensive guys didn't show up, he still could win.
After 21 years of trying to stop quarterbacks, Roger Staubach was the best.
Joe Montana has my 2 Super Bowl rings and more of my money than the IRS. I always hated that.
All right, let's talk about the running back.
Walter Payton, the best.
Jim Brown, this is an easy one.
Jim Brown.
Walter Payton for me, heart.
Wide receiver. Chris, how about you?
I'm going to speak for everybody. I don't even want to hear it. Jerry Rice, the greatest receiver to ever play.
I was going to vote for you.
Jerry Rice.
All right, how about the tight end position?
I'll talk John Mackey, man. John Mackey not only could block, but he could catch deep. He was intimidating.
I agree with Nick on the tight end.
Mike Dick is the best I ever saw.
Kellen Winslow is my selection. Offensive lineman.
How about Jim Parker? The first man over 300 pounds to revolutionize football. I think Jim Parker was the best.
I got to coach the very best lineman ever. Bruce Matthews, all-pro, center, guard, and tackle.
I played with the best. Anthony Munoz, when you drew up a play, they just took the eraser and took his guy right off the blackboard.
John Hanna eliminated people. All right, let's go over on the defensive side and start with defensive lineman, Jerry.
I like Deacon Jones. He did the head slap. I loved him.
You'd like to do that to me, wouldn't you? Reggie White, I never saw anybody block him.
I hated Deacon Jones. He is the best, in my opinion.
I know, Reggie White, in his 16th year, he still led everybody in sacks.
All right, the linebackers. Nick, what do you say?
I can speak for three, but Dick Buck, if he didn't just tackle people, he separated them from the ball. This guy was the meanest, toughest guy ever was.
Bobby Bell, the first outside linebacker to be selected to the Pro Football Hall of Fame. In the secondary, in my opinion, Willie Brown got those hands in your neck, and you didn't get off the line of scrimmage.
I tell you, Lem Barney, to me, he was fast, he was mean, he was tough. I think he's the best.
I got to coach Lem Barney. He was a great one. But there's one guy, Night Train Lane. He was the first guy that let people get open and then went and took the ball. Plus, he did the face mask grab, and he did the head slam. I loved him.
Ronnie Lott hit you like a linebacker, could cover you man-to-man, and was the smartest defensive player ever played against.
Let's talk about head coaches.
Well, my only head coach, Don Shula, this guy here, the winningest coach ever. 5 Super Bowls, 2 wins, undefeated season.
Well, you know what I love, and that's Hank Stram. 10 years in the AFL. He won it 3 times, went to the Super Bowl and won it. Everybody that's in the Hall of Fame he beat. Why isn't he in the Hall of Fame?
Paul Brown changed the game. Everybody copied everything that he did. Greatest coach ever.
I'd be prejudiced when I talk about Hank Stram because I love him, but you got to give credit to the guy that started it all, George Halas.
Ooh.
Well, that'll do it for the 1900s. We want to thank all of the wonderful people at the Renaissance Hotel for making this show possible. So for Nick, Chris, and Jerry, I'm Len Dawson saying have a safe and happy New Year's celebration. We'll see you next week. Happy New Year! You look bad. Champagne on, man. That makes it